Hi, this is Joey Natolo, and we're here at the Space Between with Kane Vincent Dyer, my partner. What's up? And Samuel J. We're gonna listen to Sam perform a couple songs right now. What are you gonna play for us, Sambo?
Greetings.
Hey,
Great
bro.
to be here with you all. Thanks for having me again, Brother Joey.
Pleasure.
Great to meet you, my man. Yes. Am I going to play some music? Yeah, I can
do it.
play some songs just to get started here. This is a new track called Believer, which I feel is quite relevant for the current time that we're all living. It's never been a more important time to believe in yourself, you know, what you do, what you practice. And this song has been inspired by the belief that I've witnessed, you know, recently in people and the power of believing. So. Yeah. I called out once to all people in our time. In that moment, I saw a fire race across the sky. Is this coincidence or work of the divine? You and I only know, yeah, in the unfolding now of time. And so we wake up each and every time that the sun now touch our face. Find the power, oh, within our hearts, keep our strength, all in the faith, yeah. So feel the glow of your own light, the force of nature in all life. Just this moment when it all seems to fall, that's just life, man, guiding you on. Say, I remember, yeah, through it all. We singing now, 'cause I'm a believer. I won't lose hope now, my friend. 'Cause I'm a believer. I stand with you to the end. World, I see you, and I know that we will make it through. Yeah, I'm a believer, my brother, my sister, like you, hey, you and I. Hey, we're born to amplify, yeah, we're born to amplify. And I held my father as he fell now into my arms. Through the generations, we have a chance to unheal this harm. And then we wake up each and every time that the ocean touch our skin. Yeah, how we ever could value each other if we don't respect what's within. And I remember, yeah, through it all we sing, yeah, 'cause I'm a believer. I won't lose hope now, my friend. Yeah, I'm a believer. I stand with you to the end. World, I see you. I know that we will make it through. Yeah, I'm a believer. Oh, family, yeah, and I'm just like you. Hey, just like you. If you're watching this from back home, you can sing along a little bit. It's a simple little line. It goes like this. Yes. I believe in you, you believe in me. Yeah. We are family. I believe in you, you believe in me. Yeah. We are family, and I believe in you, you believe in me. Get it, Joey? We are family, and I believe in you, you believe in me. We are family.
Thank you, Samuel J. in the house,
That's what's up, man. That is what's
back in Malibu.
Normally don't sing before 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Actually, it's probably 4 a.m. It's 4 p.m. already. No excuses.
It's pandemic weekend.
It is.
Yeah, every day's Christmas.
It's 4 o'clock somewhere.
Okay, perfect.
Don't you feel like Christmas every day? You have to sit in the same room with your family. It's like Christmas,
Yeah, right.
right? Like
Without the presents? No, the family are the
yeah,
presents.
Right.
That's the goal.
Yeah, family are.
Everybody started to actually look at it like that. It would start to spin this a little bit differently, actually.
That it's like a Christmas pandemic weekend.
That's great. You know what? That's great.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, the only sort of correlation I found to Christmas is the consumption, right? It's like everybody, there was a moment of panic, and all those that could at that point kind of went out and got everything that they could, you know, in sort of preparation for, what looked like a pretty bleak kind of time ahead. And it's really interesting to kind of gauge, you know, so many of us are spending, it's hypothetical, isn't it, to speak about.
But how do you really get that mad at people
Yeah.
that are they're actually they're freaking out. And so they're
Going in survival mode.
yeah.
Totally.
They
Yeah.
need a lot of toilet paper because I don't know why, but I have to wipe my ass a lot.
Well,
Nice.
I actually
You can just get a water bottle and squirt it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I
try
found
that.
out why people need so much toilet paper. Because every time someone sneezes, there are about 20 people that take a crap on themselves.
Nice.
He's got them all day.
But it's true, right? Like it's affecting everyone, that's for sure, and in different ways. And you know, when I use the word hypothetical, it's like I've kind of stopped. I've had to like get out of my own head from thinking about the billion possibilities of what is going to happen in the future, because there's no power there. There's no power like continuously thinking about, you know, what could and happen. And just I think it's bringing us all to live more in presence, which is one really great thing that's happening right now. It's just really living each day as it comes. And it starts like the song, you know, like just taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. And I personally was just like going nowhere with trying to plan into the unknown. you
Right.
know?
With all the causes that you support and
Mm-hmm.
looking at the planet right now and actually how healthy the planet's getting as it seems that humans are getting more ill.
Yeah,
What's your take or your perception on how that's playing out?
yeah. It's an irony, in a way, isn't it? Because we're in a health pandemic, but of course, you know, just since history began, we've never seen a greater reduction in carbon emissions, you know, and, you know, transport is pretty much, I think I read one statistic in The Economist, I don't know how they work it out, but, you know, 58% reduction, like almost 60% reduction in all carbon emissions.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you look at any graphs, like, of course, with the increase in population, we've just been, you know, just continuing to use more and more fossil fuels ever since they came to be. My take in this is there's an incredible opportunity, you know, amongst all of this. I feel it was inevitable, you know. I think the virus is communicating something to us as a species, rather than just it being sort of like a coincidence or something that it happened just randomly.
And we're also very
yeah.
connected by it.
Yeah.
That's what tripped me out. It's just that
Oh yeah, absolutely.
everyone is so connected from every country, you know, just how it just makes you just kind of go,
Yeah.
you know, everyone's attention like that.
Yeah, and we've created a world that's all connected, right? Like our economies are all connected. You know, our, you know, industries, everything is. We're living in a global village almost, like you know, and you can see now how unstable some of those foundations are that we're building society on, because, you know, mass production of food and all these things. Ever since I've been, you know, like a teenager, I've just had this off feeling with a lot of the ways we go about as humanity doing things. One of them being the way we treat animals, the food production just feels off. And I think that, you know, we're being shown now that, you know, we can't just continue to put so much pressure and just put so much pressure on the planet, especially on the, you know, ecologically, without things like this happening. I mean, there's tons of other examples, right? You know, from the UK, we had we had mad cow disease break out probably about 20 years ago now, and that was from just messing with the food chain, man. They just started like, I think they actually fed cows like the brain of tissue of cows. And how crazy is that? And then that caused neuro disorders in people. Like if that's not nature communicating, I think that we're part of nature, but there's an orchestration that's in place, right?
Universal law.
Yeah, well, you look at an ecosystem, right? Like there's this harmony and balance on that ecosystem because everything has, a role, and everything takes what it needs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not, you haven't got like manta rays like penning in fish in the corner and being like, no, these are all our fish. It's like, you can't eat all that. No, there's still our fish,
Yeah.
So this imbalance. So yeah, my hope is that, we can return and begin to come back to a lifestyle that's just more cohesive with, living in harmony with the ecosystem, basically. But yeah, it's a blessing in disguise, I feel.
Tell us
Just
about
hope,
your work with the ocean and
Sure.
everything that you're doing specifically with the ocean.
Right on, yeah. I started fundraising for ocean cleanups and stuff like that when I was like 14. So we would have these concerts with the first band that I was in. That would be a good moment to show some funny hair photos. But yeah, I grew up in Cornwall, so we're surrounded by, the water. My dad's a amazing mariner, and it was so crushing to see sort of like cormorants and even seals sometimes wash up on the beach, like from an oil slick or some kind of fish netting. And ever since a kid, like I remember the first time, like I just like I felt like internally like just so deeply destroyed by witnessing that. Like it was just crazy. It was like, what are we doing? Like this is like the most beautiful part of life is life itself, And so I'm currently, fast forward 20 years. So over the last 20 years, I've been working solo for most of my 20s, just organizing beach cleanups, like doing my little bit, and it all led to sort of get further involved with bigger foundations that are like, having more of a sort of global political impact. And by that, I mean helping to change laws that protect animals, that, make sure fisheries are using the right measurements within their methods, the right nettings and all these kind of things. And then over the last couple of years, just being on these incredible expeditions with Sean Heinrichs and some of the people from Blue Sphere Foundation to, going to actually see and visit firsthand some of the most enriched ecosystems in the planet, like West Papua, Tonga, even down here in Mexico. There's an incredible reservoir of life that, of course, is part of what we're really focusing on today, is the connection of all things. And there's no better example of how everything is connected in the ocean. The first breath that you took would have been, created, the oxygen from that breath would have been created in the ocean from the algae. And I'm learning all the time, but we do huge, but I'm learning all the time of how connected we are to the ocean, each of us, even if you live away from it. And so I campaign with my music. So if I go tour somewhere, like I just went to tour in New Zealand, and we just create like a concept for the tour surrounding supporting the ocean. So the mako shark is one of the eldest, most ancient creatures on the planet. It's a cousin of the white shark, and they've been fished out for their fins. This animal is just, is brutally killed, and they cut the fins off the sharks, as you guys know, and then put the animal back into the water, which is like
Wow.
taking someone's
It's
legs
like
and
taking
arms
a
off.
tiger's teeth out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
put it in the
and
wild.
it's to support this industry, and of course we think it's all going on over there, and it's nothing to do with us, but it's
It
a
gets
lot
you.
of, yeah. Well, one thing I really that I learned and I wanted to share with everyone is that long line fishing, like tuna safe fishing, dolphin safe, they have on the sides of is actually a complete farce, because most turtles and sharks are killed from long lines. Long line. Any ecologist, environmentalist knows that long lining is one of the worst things. So we have to be careful, when we, decide to eat sushi or whatever it is. Like if I think it's coming back to the song, it's a time to act in accordance with what you believe in. If you don't believe in something, don't support it with your dollar. Don't vote for it with your dollar. So yeah, it's a lot to summarize, but I'm currently working with Sea Legacy and Blue Sphere Foundation to raise awareness and funds in global campaigns to protect coral reefs, to protect certain species, to get them enlisted as endangered species so that they can have the correct protection. And a lot of it comes from like education as well.
Wow. Nice, nice, man.
Yeah.
It's funny, Sam called me one time. He was in Japan, and he was like, I'm watching. They were doing some crazy. What were they doing out there? And you were filming.
Yeah,
them.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about that.
You gotta watch this.
Right, you guys are friends. You guys know each other.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We'll have to get in that. We'll have to find out.
We interviewed Sam before for this, but me and Sam lived together for a year. He lived here, and that's how the song that he performed for the World Meditation came about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're just jumping on the wave with Japan. I mean, it's very, very much enjoyed my time in Japan. Love Japan, and I went out touring, playing music.
How long were you there?
And it was a beautiful experience. I've been 4 times now, and the last trip we were really it wasn't like a point the finger.
No,
It was just like discovering what is happening,
Right.
and you find that this is what's, the irony of it is that a lot of these people that are hunting whales, they really love the whales themselves, ironically, but that's all they've ever known. Like their grandparents have done that, but unfortunately,
The hunting of them.
Yeah, the hunting of them, but it's not like that's just supporting the village anymore. And unfortunately, a military campaign got involved, so this whole thing is funded by the Japanese military, and it feels like a sense of kind of pride of the nation. Like we've always hunted whales, therefore we're all going to hunt whales. And in that, you can see a very interesting opportunity for people to put aside, like as a human race, we have to live in the now.
Right.
We have to let go of our ego and our pride that has been saying, oh, well, we've always done this traditionally. Well, that was then. Now things are different. Now this animal is almost, wiped out. So maybe there's other ways, And of course, we all have a say in the wellness and protection of the ocean, because no one owns the ocean. No one can draw perimeters around. I know we try and do that, but it gives life to all things on Earth. So they're still hunting whales completely inhumanely, and we had in-depth discussions with the people out there that were behind that whole operation. It was fascinating.
Were you working? I've noticed Sea Shepherd on your guitar. Were you working with Sea Shepherd?
Yeah. So Sea Shepherd, we don't. Sea Shepherd don't go to Japan.
Okay.
Yes. So I wasn't there with Sea Shepherd.
They're not allowed to go.
Need
They're not allowed to be in Japan, right?
No, need to make that very clear.
Okay.
I was just having my own research into what was happening, so that.
Gotcha.
But
What was your time with Sea Shepherd?
Yeah,
like?
Sea Shepherd are an amazing family.
Yeah.
They're childhood inspirations that I ended up meeting, and Farah Smith and David and everyone. And I sailed from Canada all the way down to like Vancouver, and the boat went all the way down to Mexico, and I actually jumped off here in Los Angeles. But yeah, we saw blue whales on that trip, and they're incredible. Yeah,
This guy doesn't just play guitar, people.
Yeah, I've been blessed with a few opportunities like that one, and that was one of the trips of a lifetime. We sailed all the way down from Canada, and the real big takeaway from that was, just some people work their whole lifetime just to, give a scientific evidence of something that might seem really obvious, like the kelp produces oxygen. Like we all know it does, but someone's got to go out there and actually measure it and show the government, this is super important, and those people that do that really have my respect, man. Like, it's like 20, 30 years like studying a salmon fish just so we can understand why it's important for all life in the sea not to wipe out, that one fish. But
wow,
yeah, if you haven't heard of Sea Shepherd, check them out. They do a lot of very sort of hands-on work in directly preventing the basically massacring of sea life. Yeah.
Good
They're
work.
pretty
Great
amazing.
work, by the way.
Yeah.
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 How'd you two meet? Let's.
Oh, me and Sam.
Went to Malibu.
We met. Oh, no.
Well, we met through a mutual friend called Tim Powers,
Yeah.
and yeah,
He keeps coming up too.
I think that I think fundamentally we were brought together because we have similar visions for,
We spent time too. It's funny. He ended up spending a week with my mom. Remember? And then I left. When I left Australia, I went to Bali, and then your dad came, and I spent time with his family. It was so our families knew each other. We spent some time together. He met my mom before my mom transitioned, and so we have a lot of history together.
But it came from a mutual passion of, seeing the necessity for healing in different ways. Joe is obviously really passionate about like the medical model and from his own experience, and just so many people being mistreated in a health system that are actually like permeating their problems rather than actually supporting them. And but ultimately, without going to too much of a kind of philosophy of it, it's just we are from the earth, and the more disconnected we become from it, the more dis-ease that we feel, and I think that's what this whole time represents, is a opportunity to get connected with what's really valuable and what's really important.
With the COVID shutting down
Sure.
so much of live entertainment,
Yeah.
how have you been making your way through that and still being able to touch people with your music?
Absolutely, thanks. Great question. And all those viewers at home, like we're all in this together. We wanna know from you as well how this has affected your lives, and please share, because we're all in this together and we're all figuring this out. And I don't think any one of us has the answers. I just want to share that I initially kind of like was looking at the loss. I was looking at the loss. I'd like had all these cancellations, from all these festivals, and that's okay. That was okay for like a day or two, but like I realized that like that.
Your whole life is traveling from one continent to the next, really.
Yeah. Well, I've been blessed to travel a lot. Yeah. But it's just, I think we're all experiencing that same choice. It's a choice. It's like, what do? We are either going to focus on the loss, which leads to kind of panic and like the what ifs and things that essentially are out of our control, or just think about, is this actually a greater opportunity
Right.
coming from this, which is really hard because we work so hard, right? Everyone, like we work so hard. We put so much time into our platforms and our projects, and whether it's social media or not, or whatever it is you're building, it's a whole process to bring your contribution, whatever you do, whether it's construction or like across the board or an artist, it's the same kind of experience, right? That you work really hard to build, you're building. And I've been building up to this moment my whole life. This year I had Coachella, and Glastonbury was one of the biggest festivals in the world in England, and everything cancelled, everything. Like not even like some, like everything.
Yeah.
So what helped me and what I wanted to share was that I just personally and I haven't by any means mastered it, but as soon as I started focusing on what is the potential opportunity in all of this, like then the opportunity started coming in. Which is why I'm here, by the way. This is a great opportunity to be here talking to you guys and be involved with Mayday. But to answer your question, sorry, I run a weekly online stream, which I laugh because it's like I love connecting with people. So you're like playing, and it's just like, hey, yay. Thanks, everybody. I hope you're out there. If you felt joy, comment below, and I like your like.
You put
liked
the
me.
applause buttons
It's
up?
just like it's just,
Yeah.
it's just kind of.
You get the applause buttons up.
Yeah.
It's just not it. You know what I mean? It's not the.
We're
What
made
I-
for human, like, we need that.
Connection.
Yeah.
I think so.
Are you kidding?
And I
That's-
can't play that well either when I'm like just like feeding off my. I mean, it makes you search deeper, like looking at the opportunity again, right? Like it makes you go like, you know, really, you got to really bring it. You got to really bring it. I mean, it's not easy to do that for me. Maybe other artists that they're more comfortable away from the stage, but I think we all create the experience, right? There's no singer that's gonna tell you, I never felt the energy of the audience. It's like, right?
I would
Like-
think you feed off that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely,
much.
absolutely. My greatest inspirations, you know, Ben Harper, and I mean, this what they do. They're masters at just utilizing the energy in the room. So I've been responding to that by creating an online live stream. We discuss, you know, how we can best support each other in this time. That's like the real concept, and that feels good because I feel like it's so easy as a human to be just out in the world having your isolated experience of struggle, and like we don't really need to do that, you know. And community is, I feel like people are ashamed. You know, it's like, oh, I'm having a hard time. It's like this pressure to always be happy and this pressure to always be doing well. That's just bullshit. Like no one is happy all the time, and if they are, they've gone through some shit to get to the point. So the response to all that's happening is, I think that we have a responsibility at this time, all of us, to keep playing music, to keep positive, to keep your head up, to keep your heart open to all of the opportunities, the possibilities that are coming out of this time rather than the impossibilities. And I also have found a real sort of like, have you noticed like, I've definitely found that we are in more connection in some ways right now. You know, we're all in isolation, but like, it's reminding you of the people you really care about. It's reminding you of what's really important. And crisis has always brought people together, you know.
That's usually when things like that happen, people come together. I
Crisis
feel it's based
yeah.
on decisions you make in crisis situations, right? Which determines what your character is. So you have a decision to make and how you make it. And these are the times what create who you are, and you know what your legacy may be, you know, and how you react to things like this. So there's a lot of things I think that this will draw out people and how they respond to certain situations, and you can kind of see really how people are.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, they're
Totally.
the people that are really taking the time to tap into people like you. You know, tap into different music and taking time to feel and to process this through. And then they step out of that and then step into the gratitude of being able to have time to spend with family and things like that, you know, being able to stop for a moment, pause and take a breath. I don't think a lot of people are, I think there are definite some people that are doing that. Some of the other people aren't. I think that's why it's so important for May Day. You know, I think May Day is definitely setting the tone for that. And for you all, we're talking about the beautiful worldwide meditation dubbed May Day that the amazing Samuel J is performing at. So,
Absolutely, yeah. I very much resonate with that. I think that, you know, being, you know, it's facing yourself is ultimately, you know, sitting with yourself and becoming a friend to yourself is an incredible accolade in our lives, you know. And I think that I'm guilty for sure of like just pushing it a lot. Like you kind of, it's almost like being transfixed on the peak of the mountain, right? And you're like, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get to this peak, but like, what about the view
yeah.
from where you're standing?
Yeah.
You know, what about the footsteps you've taken, all those individual steps. And I think that we can miss out on life if you stay transfixed on the peak of the mountain. You know? And I think that meditation for me in my life has been a way of really appreciating where I am rather than giving my energy all the time to where I could be and where I should be.
Right.
And we all can relate to that. I mean, you know, everyone I speak to relates to that, and I think that we're definitely, you know, like as an overall sort of like society, I wouldn't say species, but society socially, especially here in California, are becoming more and more, you know, kind of validating or valuing of meditation practices. And this is, you know, May Day really represents that that value that people have for meditation all over the world. I've actually been a part of a few different global meditations. It's pretty amazing because it's kind of like if we're all in the same room, right, and we're gonna take a time to focus on the same thing together, right, rather than me just doing it solo, like that. The ability that we have gets amplified so much more. And a lot of people like meditate, you know, they kind of roll their eyes at meditation because it's like it's not religious. It's just basic science. Like when you're all present and focusing on, you know, the same objective, you can manifest.
Yeah.
You know,
Energy is so thick.
Yeah, and I think it's if we could all just be, you know, I have a song about it, but you know, if we could all just take a moment.
You want to play us out with that song?
Yeah, sure. But what would happen? You know, like what would happen if we all did just stop at the same moment? I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think would happen? It's pretty powerful concept. Like, what would happen on Earth?
It almost looks like when you see certain pictures of the stillness, it seems like it's about as close as you're going to get to everyone stopping at the same time as right now. You know, I've never seen it. You see pictures, but then you start to see fish in the Venice Canal and animals walking through the streets into places in Japan you'd never, like just things that you'd never see before.
I believe, you'd be able to visually see the difference, you know?
Totally.
It would manifest.
Someone once said to me that meditation is like the opposite of stress.
Yeah.
So if you think like stress is stress is when we're overloaded, right? Like our minds are just going.
Yeah.
You know, and we're kind of almost like not in control of it. It's like this subconscious and then, you know, meditation is the ability to quieten that. And in that place, of course, you know, I'm a sort of a neuro physician with my training in the spine and things. And it's when the spine is in alignment, when you sit in a certain position, you know, your cells start sort of rejuvenating and all these wonderful things happen in stillness. I don't know why. We don't need to know why, but it's just the way things are. You know, when we're really still, you know, it's a chance for us to actually really rejuvenate and restore our energy. And I think that is super important, which is why, you know, we want to see as many people around the world involved in May Day, which is going to be on May the 8th.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible lineup of different artists that are all of different backgrounds, which is, for me, the most attractive thing, because I honestly play a lot of conscious festivals and things that are sort of self-proclaimed to be, you know, of a certain sort of genre, but music's for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, and I never write music and be like, oh, this will be great for 17-year-old boys, or, you know, you know what I mean? It's
Excuse me,
it's
Sam,
like the music.
where'd you get that one?
I call your type of music like heart music.
Cool.
You know, heart music.
Yeah.
Soul music, because you listen to it and you step away feeling just, you know, just good inside, you know?
In something.
The
That's
music definitely has a healing property to it.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah.
Can you tell us the song that you were playing that you played you played for May Day?
Yeah. So, "Behold the Light," which is a song that I didn't composed the original arrangement. Was a musical piece by Joey's friends and now my friends as well, the band White Sun.
Yeah.
And me and Joey were listening to one of their songs one day, and I just kind of was like scatting over some, like, I was just in it, like I was gone. And Joe was like, you should record yourself singing
Over this.
on the song, and I'd never done anything like that in my life.
Joey's
And
the
I'm not-
initiator of almost
He's a
everything.
manifester. This cat manifests. He gets people together like no one else have seen, and he has beautiful visions, and we're all here to help those visions materialize.
Thank
So you guys are just sitting around?
Yeah.
I came out. Actually, I woke up with it. I remember, and I was freaking
Yeah, he
out.
has
But
very strong visions.
he would be out. He had a music. He had a trailer in the back, and I'd go out and bang on his thing because I traveled with Sam, and I was lucky enough to hear him create music, write music. He'd come out, he'd be naked in his guitar, I'd be like, write music. I'd be like, oh,
Okay, a
this is
couple
it.
of things. So
Can we throw some disclaimers in there,
so
qualifiers?
the trailer was more of a state of the art.
It was a
music
state-of-the-art
studio.
trailer.
And
I said that,
I
didn't I?
didn't play music naked.
But no, so I came out. There was something like I had in my head. It was a download, and so I went to him and I said, "You should perform singing over these tracks." And there was a couple different tracks. So I left to go see Amma the Hugging Saint.
Yeah.
Right, to New York, and so he said, "Okay, I'll stay and I'll do it. I'm going to record this song," because I was really on him about it. So I went back and asked him, and he said, "Oh, I haven't got it yet." So I actually went to New Mexico. I was actually sitting in front of Nasima, one of Amma the Hugging Saints people, and right as Sam hits me, I finished the song. And I was like, oh, okay. So she's sitting there. I have the earplug in. As she's
Amma the
talking to
Hugging
me,
Saint.
it's her girl sitting right here, not Nasima. I
Uh-huh.
put the plug in. I hear the song, and I'm like, oh, damn, he just nailed it. So I'm looking, and now I know it's in my funky ear, but I'm about to say, will you listen to this? And she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and she's staring at the earplug. And I'm still passing it to her, like, yeah, like, how she, you know what I mean? So she ended up listening to it, and she got a tear, and she was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it led to Sam actually coming out and performing the song in New York, which is the only time he's ever performed the song, I think, besides now.
You guys
and
made an
I
amazing
think
video for this, too.
Joey made an amazing video for it. Absolutely, yeah. A compilation of just beautiful images from around the world and a story of a young boy in India that was basically, you know, a microcosm of what's happening in the planet, like all the trials and tribulations that you have growing up into a world, trying to bring your light into the world.
Directed by Rocco Belitic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole process of bringing this song out into the world has been a journey. It you know, and yeah, really grateful. I've woken up to so many messages every morning, hundreds of messages when it first came out, and we are planning on doing a live vocal version of that composition together, both myself and Guru Jas.
Yeah.
And Guru Jas, if you're watching this, we miss you, and it would be great to make that happen. And then for this particular meditation, that was one of the songs that I'm going to do, and then also the angel song, which I've performed to the Dalai Lama and lots of other.
What's that performing for the Dalai Lama?
Was it for his
it-
82nd birthday? Or
yeah.
Is
it
he a
was-
hard audience?
Yeah, it was that whole thing was incredible that even they'd chosen to, you know, I think it all surprised quite a lot of us that they'd even chosen to host His Holiness his birthday in California, because you would imagine a whole ceremony, right, like back in northern India. But that's just really like an example for me of who he is. He's not about himself. It's about
Right.
the whole.
Right.
And like his birthday was everyone's present. It was like, this was a gift. Like he celebrated his own life, but it was like, this isn't through my birthday. I'm creating an opportunity for all of you to kind of come together. But yeah, it was
That was
amazing.
pretty
It was-
magical, huh?
It was very magical. It was one of those things where, you know, so much had to align.
But you're thinking
Yeah.
about that. You performed for the Dalai Lama,
Yeah.
for Amma the Hugging Saint,
Mhm.
and they handpicked you. I mean, that's something to say something, I think. You know what I mean?
I'll take it. Yeah, it was incredible to
We were
actually.
excited about it. Remember, we were sitting
Listen,
in
you
New
went from playing your guitar naked in the trailer back here to
No,
playing
no, that was that
That
was
was-
actually
so-
that was
so
no, that
Joey
was
has
in
vision.
Brazil, or no, we were in Bali. But he was creating music, and it wasn't like he was naked. We got done surfing, and he would just sit, and music was happening. He was always playing.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
so
I think the moral of the story, which is the most important thing to share from this, is like, well, two things. One, when you have a vision, right? Like if you have a vision, you know, like you really see yourself doing something, you know, what is between you and the now and that vision from actually happening, you know? And you think about, you know, come back to the ocean and turtles, these animals that just, you know, they just travel insane distances across the entire ocean. You know, they have so much belief. You know, they have so much belief to keep them going. But I think that we can take, you know, like a leaf out of nature's book in that way. And, you know, I do compliment Joey for that, for like having visions and then bringing them into manifestation. And I wrote a song called "Become the Vision," because if you are, you know, going to do anything in life and you start doubting that you're going to be able to do it, you probably won't be able to do it, you know. But if you uphold the vision, you know, it's incredible what we can manifest when we, and I wrote the song "Become the Vision,"
Right.
you know, and we're all capable of doing that, and seeing yourself in full health, seeing yourself as a happy individual, seeing yourself full with everything you need,
Yeah.
is part of the
Yeah.
meditation, actually.
Yeah.
You know, because mantra is what allows yourself to just connect in, like you're affirming, like, you know, like if you're not sure, like if you're made of evil, or you're like, you know, like, and just connecting, you know, I've had people say that, like, I'm not sure if I'm evil, and it's like, wow, you know, well, if you tell yourself that you're,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of, so the power of manifestation is very real on the planet right now, and I think that we're all learning to, you know, if you want someone else to value yourself, you know, you have to value you. You have to value yourself.
Sam, yeah,
those
Sam
are-
and I just the fact that we're here doing this, and that this is where it started. There were so many things in between that time that me and Sam had gone through, just from fires to so many different things to him performing this song for the meditation. You know, was an idea. Then to perform it in front of Amma, the hugging saint. You know, it's the feeling is amazing.
Right.
But also what he said is the vision, and then the passion behind the vision to never stop, you know, to keep going. And I think that for everybody and anybody that's listening, that those things are a formula that we all have. They're all within us.
Yeah.
It's just putting it to use and making it happen. You know?
Totally.
Bless us with another song.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the "Become the Vision" song. You haven't heard this.
No,
This
let's
is
do it.
new.
I once found a place where I breathed easy and I felt my breath. Fearless in my chase, look to the ocean where my soul caught rest. There were wide open horizons. Would I sail on? Would I find them? Be drowning? Or would I be held back by a past still trapped behind me? Or would I be held back by this past behind me? Before your time, it has now gone. When you close your eyes, you see the dreams that you are holding out inside. Bring those dreams from the darkness now to the light. You can bring your own dreams to the world outside. You can bring your own dreams to the world outside, yeah. no longer held back by that past behind us. No longer held back by the past behind us. Before your time, it has now gone. Dream before your love is now lost. Hey, dream before you close your eyes now. Become the vision that you want to see. Become the vision that you truly believe. Before your time, it has now